99X, it's Barnes and Leslie. We're talking with Dave Dahl. Dave's Killer Bread is a phenomenal success with an unbelievable story attached to it. We're talking to Dave here right now. If you missed the first part, go back to the podcast. Really wild stories in all directions about the success of this product and how it came to be. When we left off, you were talking about a manic episode, Dave, that you had. That now, did you attack a cop?
I would say the other way around, but the cops surrounded me, and I don't know what I did exactly. I don't remember it very well.
Because you were having a bipolar episode, an event, right?
Yeah, I lost it for whatever reasons, and ran the cop car, and then backed up and hit the other car. I'm not sure if I hit 2 or 3 cars.
Wow. So on the timeline, this is 2013, and then you sold the company in 2015. Were you alluding before that this was, did you sell because of the way things were going, or was the timing just happenstance?
Well, I think the reason that I'm no longer involved was because of my problem. That particular problem, it was so public. And the company tried to, wanted to distance themselves from the creator. That was a tough thing for me. But 2015, we actually sold half the company, my brother, my nephew, and myself in May 2012. And now we were invested in, and we were growing, and, our new partners were built for growing a business. And eventually it got almost too big for me. Things were very uncomfortable.
That's fascinating. I had no idea. As a customer of yours for many years, I had no idea of any of this backstory. This is news to me. I had no clue that this was even a thing. And so then you sell for $275 million, and they just want to distance themselves, and they don't want to deal with you at all. Yeah,
that was heartbreaking for me.
Wow.
And I'm writing about that. I was writing last night about it. I'm enjoying the process of writing a book about it all now.
Wow. I'm really glad that you are writing a book to tell your side of the story, but I wanted to ask you about some of the positive things that happened while you were with the company. The Second Chance Employment Initiative about hiring ex-convicts. Why was that important for you to do, and how did you start that?
That came from the heart, In the early days, I didn't think too much about it being a marketing thing. I didn't think at all about it being a marketing deal. I just thought about it, I just knew that if I could do it, turn my life around and become a great employee and entrepreneur, why couldn't other people do that? So my goal was to find, a lot of times I hired buddies that I knew, and that didn't always work out, but it did work out sometimes. And I eventually realized you don't just hire them because they're ex-cons. That's not a good reason. You hire people because they're good people. The best people sometimes are ex-cons, but you just hire the best person you can. And really it comes down to, to look back on their, most recent history and say, this is what I've done. This is what the person has done to prepare themselves to be a good citizen, a good employee and such.
We're talking to Dave Dahl, and if you're just tuning in, we mentioned this earlier, I want to say it again. Dave is not sick. Dave is losing his voice, and that's why he sounds this way. Dave's Killer Bread, still on shelves today in thousands of stores. Here's a question for you, Dave. If you want some of your bread, do you just make it, or do you go buy it?
That's a great question.
Making it's kind of a pain, but it's great if you're set up to do it, but making it from scratch in your home is a little bit harder.
Yeah.
It would be good, but I have other things to do nowadays.
Which bag are you, yellow or red or blue?
Yes, all yellow. That's my masterpiece. It's called Good Seed. I have a huge Good Seed tattoo on my back.
That's the one that I eat. I'm the yellow.
Do you understand what it means?
Do I understand what it means?
Yeah, I was. Do you understand what Good Seed represents?
Of course not. I just thought it looked healthy, and so I bought it.
Well, you might call it Good Seed from now on because it's a play on the bad seed. I obviously was a bad seed and planting bad seeds and having bad fruit comes to me. And when I turned my life around, starting in 2001 while I was in prison, I started thinking of myself as a good seed. And because I was, things that I was doing now because I was in the right frame of mind, especially when I got popular with the bread, it was like opportunity to do good things. And so when I made the product, it was the third variety of killer bread that I made. I created around that name, and that name the meaning of it to me it's like my personal brand.
I'm going to look at this bread so differently from here on out. To me, it was just rock star bread. I saw the guitar, I saw the cool dude. I'm like, rock star. Your stories, this needs to be a movie.
Well, guess what? Do you know the guys from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
They're behind a movie, and the main actor would be David Harbour from Stranger Things.
Wow.
You heard it here first.
Is that news out anywhere, Dave?
No, it's not. I probably shouldn't even say it, but by the fall, we're open to have it. They're open to have it ready to go. I'm kind of a bystander, but I've tried to have influence on the script because I wanted to really tell the important parts. They've also started filming a documentary, which I think is going to be amazing.
I'll watch. I'm in.
Oh, talking to Dave Dahl, the co-founder of Dave's Killer Bread, which Barnes and I absolutely love. You were kind of the mad scientist in this recipe. How did you, we got to get down to this. How did you develop the recipe for Dave's Killer Bread?
Yeah, it's like I alluded to the drafting process. Computer-aided drafting was my first computer work. And also I learned to program, and that just taught me so much. And, you replicate what you see. You learn to replicate things. Like a great loaf of bread, and you go, okay, this is what makes a good loaf of bread. Through trial and error, you figure it out. Then you figure out how to make it better because you know how to make it great already. So that's what I did.
I know Leslie is not going to mention this, but just a couple of months ago, and I know you're not associated anymore, but Leslie Fram did the commercials for Dave's Killer Bread.
I was endorsing it for like a month, and it's all we have in our family.
Wow, that's fantastic. So which one do you like? Probably the 21 whole grains, the green one?
Yeah, I do. I actually like all of them, to be honest with you.
I do like all of them. You've got some great stuff.
My masterpiece is the good seed. So
that's what I buy all the time. Okay.
Yeah, that's the correct answer.
So cool to meet you, Dave. And going out, here's a question. I want to see if you have an answer for this. If there was a song to be played on the Dave's Killer Bread commercial, like as the soundtrack, what would it be?
Well, I like the old Carlos Santana, Winning. I think that was a song that always stuck with me all through my life. And winning is a good. It's just something to aim for. You're winning in your life. Doesn't mean you're winning in the game.
Okay, you've just placed another layer on my Dave's Killer Bread. Now I'm going to hear Santana when I pick up the loaf.
And I also love that song because of the dobro that he plays.
This was so cool to meet you. I had no idea all of the things you just shared with us, and that just opens the brand up in my brain so much more. Dave Dahl, Dave's Killer Bread. He's no longer affiliated. That is his baby, though. And Dave, thanks for taking time to share your story with us.
Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you. You guys are great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We really appreciate the time. Thank you.
So cool. I look forward to that little scoop you just gave us, too, with the movie. This is the original. This is 99X.
The Bigger Pockets Podcast Network is your home for real estate investing.
So why real estate?
We keep saying it, but the housing market is shifting more and more towards a buyer's market every week.
Guess what, folks? You can still buy real estate today.
You can buy a quality rental property today.
And build an investment portfolio that cash flows monthly.
These are my favorite markets for cash flow.
And build wealth long term.
The world has changed, but the best way to invest in real estate hasn't.
Search for the Bigger Pockets Real Estate Show anywhere you listen to your podcasts.